1. CC, Certified in Cybersecurity, the ISC2 entry-level certification validating foundational cybersecurity knowledge and principles for those beginning their security career. 2. ISC2, International Information System, Security Certification Consortium, the non-profit organization administering the CC certification and offering it free of exam fees to eligible candidates. 3. CIA Triad, the foundational security model consisting of confidentiality, integrity, and availability, the basis for all security program design. Confidentiality, ensuring information is accessible only to those authorized to access it, protecting against unauthorized disclosure. 5. Integrity, ensuring data is accurate and complete and has not been altered by unauthorized parties. 6. Availability, ensuring systems data and services are accessible when needed by authorized users. Authentication, the process of verifying the claimed identity of a user system or device. 8. Authorization, granting or denying access to resources based on the verified identity and defined permissions. Non-repudiation, ensuring a party cannot deny having performed an action proven through audit logs and digital signatures. 10. Accountability, recording user actions to establish responsibility and enable investigation of security events. 11. Risk, the potential for loss or harm arising from a threat exploiting a vulnerability. 12. Threat, any potential cause of harm to an information asset, including natural events, human error, and malicious actors. 13. Vulnerability, a weakness in a system, process, or control that could be exploited to cause harm. 14. Risk management, the systematic process of identifying, analyzing, evaluating, and treating security risks. 15. Risk acceptance, a management decision to acknowledge and live with a risk because the cost of mitigation is too high. 16. Risk avoidance, eliminating an activity or asset that creates an unacceptable risk exposure. 17. Risk transfer, shifting the financial consequences of a risk to a third party, such as through cyber insurance. 18. Risk mitigation, implementing controls to reduce the likelihood or impact of a risk to an acceptable level. 19. Security controls, safeguards or countermeasures applied to protect the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of information. Preventive control, a security measure designed to stop a security incident from occurring. 21. Detective control, a security measure designed to identify and alert on incidents that have already occurred. Corrective control, a security measure designed to restore systems and data to normal after a security event. Physical security, controls protecting personnel, equipment, and facilities from physical threats and unauthorized access. 4. Technical control, automated security measures implemented through hardware or software to protect systems and data. 25. Administrative control and policies, procedures, and guidelines governing how people interact with systems and information. Least privilege, granting users and systems only the minimum access required to perform their job functions. Separation of duties, dividing critical tasks among multiple individuals to prevent fraud and reduce the risk of error. Need to know, the requirement that individuals only access information necessary for their specific responsibilities. Defense in depth. A layered security approach using multiple independent controls to protect assets comprehensively. Security policy. A high-level document defining management's security objectives, requirements, and expectations. Security procedure. Step-by-step instructions for implementing a specific security control or completing a security task. 32. Code of ethics. ISC2's professional standards requiring practitioners to protect society, act honorably, and serve principles. 33. Incident. A security event that compromises the confidentiality, integrity, or availability of an information asset. Incident response. The structured process for detecting, containing, eradicating, and recovering from security incidents. 35. Business continuity plan. A documented strategy for maintaining critical operations during and after a significant disruption. 36. Disaster recovery plan. Procedures for restoring IT systems and operations following a disaster or major outage. 37. RTO. Recovery time. Objective. The maximum acceptable time to restore a system or process after a disruption. RPO. Recovery point. Objective. The maximum acceptable amount of data loss measured in time from the point of failure. 39. Backup. Copies of data stored separately to enable recovery following data loss, corruption, or ransomware. 40. Redundancy. Deploying duplicate systems or components so that if one fails, another takes over without service interruption. 1. High availability. A system design ensuring a defined level of operational continuity during a component failure. 42. Cryptography. The science of protecting information through mathematical algorithms, ensuring confidentiality, integrity, and authenticity. 43. Encryption. Converting readable data into an unreadable format using a cryptographic algorithm and key. 44. Decryption. Converting encrypted data back to readable form using the appropriate key. 45. Symmetric encryption. Using the same key for both encryption and decryption. Fast and efficient for large data. 46. Asymmetric encryption. Using a mathematically related key pair where the public key encrypts and the private key decrypts. 47. Hash function. A one-way mathematical function producing a fixed-length digest used to verify data integrity. 48. Digital signature. A cryptographic mechanism using a sender's private key to prove message authenticity and non-repudiation. PKI. Public key infrastructure. A framework of certificates, authorities, and policies supporting asymmetric encryption and digital signatures. Certificate authority. A trusted entity issuing digital certificates that bind public keys to verified identities. TLS. Transport layer security. The cryptographic protocol protecting data in transit over networks, including HTTPS connections. 52. VPN. Virtual private network. An encrypted tunnel providing secure remote connectivity over untrusted public networks. Firewall. A network security device filtering traffic between network segments based on defined rules. 54. IDS. Intrusion detection system. A security tool monitoring network or host activity and alerting on suspicious behavior. 55. IPS. Intrusion prevention system. An active IDS that can automatically block detected threats in real time. 56. Network. A collection of connected devices and systems enabling communication and resource sharing. 57. LAN. Local area network. A network serving a limited geographic area, such as a building or campus. 58. 1. Wide area network. A network spanning large geographic areas, connecting multiple LANs. 59. IP address. A logical address identifying a device on a network used for routing communications. MAC address. A hardware address uniquely identifying a network interface at the data link layer. 61. Router. A network device forwarding packets between different networks based on routing table entries. Switch. A network device forwarding frames within a local network based on MAC address tables. 63. VLAN. Virtual Local Area Network. A logical segmentation of a network grouping ports into separate broadcast domains. 64. DMZ. Demilitarized Zone. A network segment hosting public-facing services isolated from the internal network. 65. Zero Trust. A security model assuming no user or system should be implicitly trusted, requiring continuous verification. 66. IIM. Identity and Access Management, the discipline of managing digital identities and controlling access to resources. 67. MFA. Multi-factor authentication, requiring 2 or more verification factors before granting access to a system. 68. Single sign-on, authenticating once to gain access to multiple systems and applications without repeated logins. Access Control List. A set of rules specifying which users or systems can access a resource and at what level. Malware. Malicious software designed to harm, disrupt, or gain unauthorized access to computer systems. 71. Virus. Malware attaching to legitimate files and spreading when those files are executed. 72. Worm. Self-replicating malware spreading across networks without requiring user interaction. 73. Ransomware. Malware encrypting victim files and demanding payment for the decryption key. 74. Phishing. Fraudulent communications designed to trick users into revealing credentials or installing malware. 75. Social engineering. Manipulating human psychology to bypass technical security controls and obtain unauthorized access. 6. Denial of service. Overwhelming a system with traffic or requests, making it unavailable to legitimate users. 77. SQL injection. Inserting malicious SQL code into an input to manipulate a database and extract unauthorized data. 78. Cross-site scripting. Injecting malicious scripts into web pages to execute in the browsers of other users. Patch management. Identifying, testing, and applying software updates to fix known vulnerabilities. At 80. Vulnerability assessment. A systematic review, identifying security weaknesses in systems, applications, and networks. 81. Security awareness training. Educating employees about threats policies and their security responsibilities. 82. Data classification. Categorizing data based on sensitivity to apply appropriate protection and handling controls. 83. Data handling. Policies and procedures governing how classified data is stored, transmitted, shared, and destroyed. 84. Privacy. The right of individuals to control how their personal information is collected, used, and shared. 85. PII. Personally identifiable information. Any data that can identify an individual, such as name, address, or social security number. 86. Data breach. An unauthorized disclosure, or exposure of sensitive information to an untrusted party. 87. Audit, a systematic, independent examination of security controls and processes to verify compliance and effectiveness. Log, a chronological record of system events, user activities, and security-relevant actions. 89. SIEM, Security Information and Event Management, aggregating and analyzing logs to detect and investigate threats. DA, Threat Intelligence, information about known and emerging threats, informing defensive security decisions and controls. 91. Security Operations Center, a team monitoring, detecting, and responding to security threats and incidents. 92. Incident Handling, the process of managing a security incident from detection through recovery, and lessons learned. 93. Chain of Custody, documentation, tracking the handling of evidence to ensure integrity and legal admissibility. 94. Forensics, the collection, preservation, and analysis of digital evidence following a security incident. 5. Compliance, meeting legal, regulatory, and organizational requirements for data security and privacy. 96. NIST, National Institute of Standards and Technology, the U.S. agency publishing cybersecurity standards and frameworks. ISC2 Cybersecurity Framework, a voluntary framework providing standards and best practices for managing cybersecurity risk. 98. ISO 27001, an international standard defining requirements for an information security management system. 99. Governance, the framework of policies, processes, and structures through which security is directed and controlled. 100. CC Exam, ISC2's 100-question, multiple-choice exam covering 5 domains of foundational cybersecurity knowledge.